So recently I posted this video and a reel about my experience in the parking garage on my way to this business trip where I was kind of running out of time to park, and I was in a very full garage that I pulled into, and I asked Mary to help me find a parking spot, and boom, I literally turned the corner, was pulled to pull into the second level, and I turned the corner and there was a spot, a prime spot waiting for me right next to the terminal entrance. And I laughed and I giggled and I felt so loved and heard, and it was like a warm hug and a kiss on the forehead and a tap on the behind to go about my day. And it was beautiful. And I shared it, and I'm sharing it again here because I want you to understand that these are regular occurrences in all of our lives if we're just paying attention to them and remembering who they're coming from, because we know who we are and whose we are. The whole thing got me thinking, and I realized that I think there's two important things to share here. First and foremost is that kind of prayer, the prayer of, hey, Mom, I need your help. Can you get me a parking spot, is so real. And it is the most kind of authentic prayer that in my experience is always answered. And it's always over-delivered. I think, and my realization is that I believe, and my heart tells me that these prayers are answered this way so beautifully to, number one, help us remember that she is with us always and surrounds us always, to make us smile and giggle in the midst of our crazy and often difficult lives, but also because we ask with the heart of a child. When we pray from a place of innocence, from a place of a true, authentic heart that is emptied out of everything that we think, and we ask from a place of pure love, the love of a child to its mother. When I first began to practice this, in fact, I practiced as if I were talking to the mother that I need, the one that I call upon to mother the small child in my own wounding work that I do for myself. But then I realized that there's even a greater opportunity, is to pray to the mother of all things from the same place with the same voice, the heart of a child, the child that's still very much within me. And when I pray from that place of just pure love, love for my life, love for the craziness and my surrender to the moment, and the love of my mother, the great mother, who has given me so many gifts, so many of these little love notes throughout my existence, that I just let go and I expect her to show me the way, and she always does. She always does. And so I promise you, it is worth your time to learn how to pray from this place. It took some unlearning. I had to unlearn how to pray like prayer was a vending machine. I had to unlearn the concept of, a rosary or, an Our Father, 10 Hail Marys, and a Glory Be is not going to deliver me anything more than, I'm sure there's some merit, but there is nothing more beautiful and more connected and more pleasing, I believe, to this divine presence than our hearts and the ask, the devotion that comes when we ask, pray, and seek her out from the childlike heart that exists within us. It's very much like the idea of how we felt again as children, how we loved our mothers, not for any other reason other than they were our mother. That we know nothing else. There's nowhere else to turn, right? Because she knew the way, right? On Mother's Day, which we just, lived through, there's all these memes, the videos, right? Mom, right? Mothers are so special, mothers, whatever. It is the same thing. The relationship she seeks from you is that. And when you approach her that way, there's nothing that she will not help with. There's nothing she would ever turn away. It may be answered in her time, it may be answered in her way, but she will answer you. And so I encourage you, don't just pray the Rosary. Don't just pray your Hail Marys. Don't just check your box. Learn to find that voice within you that calls out to the Mother, and she will answer you. And you will find these little love notes popping up everywhere, in everything. So much so that it will be to the point where you'll begin to recognize that when they're not happening, something's off. And it usually means that you are disconnected. And so you begin to gain a consciousness, an awareness, a cognizance that you're maybe thinking too much here, and you're not surrendered to the flow of your life. It feels difficult. There's resistance versus the flow and the peace that comes from trusting and living your life, knowing that everything is exactly as it should be, even when it feels hard. And even if it isn't exactly as you wish it would be or that it should be, she will move you through it. She will be with you and she will move you through it, now and always.